you don't even have to step foot in the gym to lose weight. Like I'll say it. Like everybody got this health kick going on social media. Everybody working out. You don't have to step foot in there. If you watch what you put in your mouth, then it's going you gonna lose the weight. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like, because at the end of the day, if I can sit right here and I can eat vegetable soup every day, I guarantee I start melting away. They're gonna be like, boy, you look sick over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still working out? Like, no, you losing weight. Exactly. You know, so. You know, that's the thing. Like, people in the gym have different goals. Some people are in there just to be in there. Like, I just want to work out and say I worked out. Like, I'm not trying to get my heart rate all the way up. I might just want to come in here and put 200 pounds on this bench, 300 pounds on this bench, and hit it one time. If I can hit it one time, then I'm cool. I'm going back home.
Oh, yeah.
And that might be their fitness goal. But you don't have to. It's if you just because, you know, you're in the gym doesn't mean that you're going to get results. Now, it's going to help, yeah, and it's going to help scope your body. But I have times when I'm not trying to lose weight right now. Yeah. I'm not trying to gain weight. I'm trying to maintain. But guess what? I work out every day. And you'll take somebody, be like, I need to get in that gym with you because I need to lose weight. That don't necessarily be, look, I'm working out, I ain't losing weight. You know what I'm saying?
So, you're not,
so it's really, you know, you got people to work out who want to gain weight.
Yes. For sure.
So how you gonna sit right here and tell somebody you got to get in the gym to lose weight, and then they come into the gym and then their gym partners in here trying to gain weight?
All right, man, we back for another episode. I'm still in my hometown of Danville doing some interviews, man. I got some amazing people in the city to sit down and talk to. The goal is to inspire the youth and impact them as much as possible. And why not start right here at home, right where we are, born and bred, most of us. So without further ado, man, welcome to Stats Global Podcast, the show where ambition meets real talk. I'm your host, Coach T. And each week I sit down with leaders, entrepreneurs, and community change makers to have raw conversations about their journey, mindset, and leadership lessons. If you're ready to grow, lead, and make an impact, you're in the right place. Let's get it. Today I had the pleasure of sitting down with a good friend of mine, man. Met him in the city in passing. We definitely went to school together, but I don't think we knew each other in school, but we went to school around the same time. And when I came back home during COVID, we crossed paths through his fitness gym and me working with the youth. So youth also is a way to connect people. So I'm very, very, very excited to sit down with him, man. But without further ado, man, I'm gonna let him go ahead and let y'all know who he is and what he does.
What's going on? DJ Tarpley, real name Dennis, but I go by DJ. I am a overall businessman, but I'm known as a personal trainer here in the city, entrepreneur, fitness business, a couple different things. Just overall, just an entrepreneur for the most part. But born and raised in Danville, basketball player in high school, father, married, you know,
yes,
all the way around the board, just well rounded, you know, for the most part. But
oh yeah, man. So you touched on that. You're married, like newlyweds, right? Like what's this? Year 1 or 2?
Oh, we in the game now since 21.
Since 21?
Yeah,
okay.
so I'm about 4 years in now. So yeah,
Wow.
a little past there.
I'm thinking you over here year 1 or 2. Wow.
Oh.
Y'all been rolling so smooth, man.
Yeah,
so smooth.
We over the threshold now.
Yeah, man. Family life. How's family life?
It's good, man. It definitely keep me on my toes.
Oh yeah, we had to get. I had to get in his schedule. You know what I'm saying? The newborn was coming when I was trying to schedule, so he had to. You know, it was a boy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be 3 weeks and 2 days.
Nice, man. So you got 2 new additions to the family since what 2020 when we first started meet. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. So how many kids do you have all together?
4.
Nice, man. That's nice. Family man, businessman.
Oh yeah.
Everything else. But you're known for your business, Weight Pusher Fitness.
Yeah.
How did that name even come about?
When I first started off, I was pretty much watching YouTube. I was big on YouTube when I was into just working out and stuff, looking for motivation to keep me going. And what had happened was I had wanted my own brand. I was watching YouTube, and I kept seeing everybody branding, working out in their own gear and stuff like that. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, I want my own stuff. And I started seeking personal training.
Mm-hmm.
So as I was seeking personal training, I wanted to brand myself. And where I came out with was weight pusher. I went back and forth with my cousin trying to find out logos and stuff like that. But weight pusher stuck out to me because it was like, not only are you just dealing with weights and lifting weights in the gym, but it was more so with just life in general, stress, so
Oh
everybody
yeah.
in life, you're going to encounter stress at some point, and it's going to weigh heavy on your shoulders. So it's pretty much like
Mm-hmm.
you're either going to continue to push through and move that weight up off of you, keep pushing, or you're going to just give in. So that's why I came up with weight pushing. So it's pretty much push or be pushed.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it, man. I love it. I love it, man. So that's the concept of the name, which is dope in itself. And looking at names when you talk about branding, there you already know what it is, like weight pusher, and it makes sense. You can also look at it like if I'm looking at it trying to come through, I'm able to push through. You know what I'm saying? Any obstacles that may come my way. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever it is. However, how did you even get into business in general? Like how did you even get to the point where you want to start your own business in fitness?
Um, it really started. I want to say back in like 20 2011. I want to say 2011,
Uh huh.
2012. I had took my first business venture. I was working, but I had got into a party promotion. My cousin that came down from Nebraska, and
Nebraska.
I was staying in Greensboro at the time. So when I taking him around Greensboro, he was seeing everything. He was like, "Man, you should be doing this down here. You should get into it. Like you already going to living the club life and the
Mm-hmm.
nightlife." And he was like, "Man, you should really like look into it and see about how to make some money off of this while you already out anyway."
Yeah.
And so he kind of put a couple things and was speaking from his experience and put me on game with a couple things, and I ended up um, I went and got a clicker. I was
Okay.
going to the club. I'm going through clicking, counting everybody. How many people can get in? And how much I pay to get in with the general admission. Like I'm doing numbers, man. I'm a big numbers guy, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing numbers, and I'm like, man. So now I need to talk to and he's kind of telling me like, man, you just go in there, see who you need to talk to. See, like, don't try to be just a promoter at the club. Like, try to see if you can get the door. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm meeting with my managers and this and that, and so now I done went and I actually threw my first party down there, and that was like I say 2011, and I end up renting the club out, getting flyers, stuff like that. Got the security set away and all of that. Got the contract with the owner, and that was my first time really making some money. I want to say it was a pretty good success on that
Oh
one,
yeah.
But I will say I did that for about like 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I took some L's. Definitely took some L's. But yeah, it was the first time me seeing like, okay, this is, the money I can make off of this is a whole lot better than my 2 week check.
Oh yeah.
so,
Oh yeah. For
so
sure.
I was like, all right, that's all I needed to see. So I was that really jump started me, and then I got out of that, and then like a couple years later, like I say, that was like around 2014, probably around 2015, 2014, 2015, when I kind of like got away from that. And then 2016 came around, and that's when I was working out the whole time I was doing the other stuff with.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's when I started taking training serious in 2015. And 2016 is when I actually came up with the weight pushing name and LLC, and went and
Nice.
got official with that. So this is actually my second actual business that I ever had. So
Okay, that's dope. That's
yeah.
dope. So you said you took, quite a few L's in that process of your first business, which was party promotions and everything like that. Which that's marketing. So I mean, it helps
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
It from what I can see, especially for being around the city with client attraction and gaining your clients for weight pusher, which is what you've been doing. You know what I'm saying for some time now. What kind of L's did you see along the way?
Man, just from flops,
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like things that you can control, can't control. Is just really understanding that, like, yeah, where everybody says like it's a risk that you taking, but the bigger the risk, bigger the reward.
Yeah.
Like I would have people going out, and then it's, oh yeah, they calling for rain or a storm come up. Like,
Mm.
now ain't nobody coming out the house, ain't nobody. So now I'm
Yeah.
sitting there in an empty building. I'm like, Dag, I still gotta pay these folks. Security looking at me like, y'all still owe my money at the end of the night. DJ, so I'm like, all right. It just but then you spent the money on the flyers, radio ads, like I was
Yeah.
all of that. So I got to see, but like when the cash was good, when everything's flowing, like it's good. But you never really knew, you know what I'm saying, like how I can, because you can be like, oh, this is gonna be a hit, and then like the weather could change everything, or somebody might have another bigger event going on down the street, around the corner, and everybody go shift there. So it was definitely, it kind of taught me, about the losses and everything early in the game, but that it didn't break me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was, it was pretty much like, okay, I can expect it. Once I learned to expect, like, okay, it's not guaranteed, but one good night can cover a bad one, and you still be up. So that's kind of what it all came down to. But it was definitely some losses involved.
Yeah. Well, the weather I can definitely kind of see how that would determine, because I'm a person myself. If it's going, oh yeah, we going out tonight. See the rain start coming, I'm like, no, I'm good. Stay right on at home. But I think one of the main things you were just saying, as far as like the people that wanted pay, would involve you having a network and meet those people, DJs, security, even just the club in general, to be able to promote their space. What did you learn about networking and like building those relationships with people that you needed to be successful with your part of the party promotion?
Um, you got to be solid.
Okay,
That's
that's
always, and I think that's in anything that you do. Reputation and first impressions are like really big on everything. So meeting, the club owners, like, they own this building, this and that. You don't want to go in there wasting their time, and like, it, that's when I really realized, like, money talk. Cause a lot of people probably come in there, let me throw this party, let me do this, or I got an event, we can make some money off of that. But they want to use your space and come in and see, like, pretty much you got everything, so they want to use what you got and not bring nothing to the table, and they want to come up off of it. And I was like our early time of seeing that, but you definitely see it the older you get, you can see it everywhere in life. But that kind of definitely showed me a lot. It was like a lot of lessons in that alone.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely. So you started out in part promotion and switched on over to fitness, and you said throughout the time you were working out, like how do you get like, how did you even just like set on like, okay, fitness is my thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and build this business from it? Like, I'm an in and out type, but I'm an athlete. You know what I'm saying? I was former athlete. You know what I'm saying? I'm a coach. You know what I'm saying? So being in shape is definitely important. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff is fitness is key. Definitely. However, like, to be consistently going to the gym, working out, and then to make that like pretty much your lifestyle. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna come to you if you look like me. Like, you telling me, all right, look, I can help you lose 20 pounds, you know what I'm saying? Pay me $300 a month, you know what I'm saying? Get in my program. And I'm looking at you like, bro, like, you look like you just ate a whole pack of Twinkies when you got it for the, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, to be solid in the fitness industry is like, it speaks volume. As I'm learning, like you said, as an entrepreneur, you learn a lot and you grow. When you're able to go to the gym every day, be consistent, and you maintain your body a certain way, like, you have to put in that work. You have to be consistent. Just for what I know on the outside, that's a great entrepreneurial trait, because those two things in itself, like, and it be discipline. Like, you have to. If you're not doing those things, you're not going to be, you're not going to go anywhere, right? So, like, what was that driving force for you to kind of want to just stick with fitness and like get into it and just ride that thing on out?
Um, it really came natural.
That's
It
that's
was,
major.
if it's something that you're doing, already, and that can bring money, then, like, I feel like, why not do it? It's more so, like, when I started, I would already a student athlete in school, coming all the way up, man. Taking weightlifting and stuff like that. But it really came down to like 2010. Is when I got back in the gym after high school, and it was mainly because I was going to bike week.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right, all right.
my buddy came home from the service in the military, and he was just like, yeah, he got a bike. He was like, you want to go to bike week? I was like, yeah, I'll go. I was like, I gotta get a bike though, and then so I ended up buying a bike. And he was like, man, I'm like 130 pounds. He was like, you can't be small on this bike. So I was like, all right, let me get in the gym. So I started going to the gym with him. We was just pretty much working out for bike week. But, I ended up just kind of like upping my calories, and I took like a mass gainer, just like get some extra calories in me and stuff like that. but I ended up putting on like 20, 30 pounds before I went to the beach. So you couldn't tell me. I felt like a new person. I got a motorcycle. Like I'm a whole new person out here.
Ooh.
So and I was 20 years old at that time too. So it was different. Like I felt like I was really doing something.
Oh yeah.
But and then like after that, people seen me and they was like, man, how in the world did you put on all this weight? Like you used to be puny. And I was like, man, if you can do that, I was like, you can help me lose weight. I was like, all right. So I just started kind of trading and people just coming to me like just off of what I did for myself.
Yeah.
Like you said, like it's all about how like they'll look at me and I pick people up and I'm in the grocery store, people come up to me and be like, hey man, you work out, you a trainer? I'm like, yeah man, where you at? And they don't even know who I am.
Yeah, on
So
marketing.
so it's
Yeah.
like you got to pretty much, wear the hat,
For sure.
So but that's kind of the ballpark where it all started, where I got it, and everybody was coming to me, and I just started gradually picking up clients, and then I started, like I said, I'm a numbers guy. When it makes sense, it makes sense. I sat back, and when I sat back, I started doing the numbers, like how many clients do I need, and like what can I charge? What do most people charge? I'm doing them numbers. So like once you get all the numbers down, it's like, all right, got the numbers here. Now you got to figure out how to go out here and make it work. How you gonna get the clients? And like you say, the marketing was already there pretty much from the party promotion. So
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of stuck with what I knew.
Oh yeah.
Stuck with what I knew. It all just kind of came together, and I just stuck with it. Like I
Yeah.
said, I ain't started working out, and I'm still working out, and everything kind of just flows.
Exactly. To
You
the
know what
point
I'm
where
saying?
you was coming in here. I saw you out in the car making this shake before
Yeah.
you came in here. I mean, that's really like you have to like, man, I'm over there drinking Dr. Pepper, you drinking the workout shake.
Yeah, look, I was starving. I said,
Look,
this shake gonna have to do.
see, that's what I'm saying at this point. I would have stopped by and got me a honey bun or something real quick instead of grabbing a shake, man. That's real good to stick to it. So that's wow, man. Wow. You talking about doing the numbers. I mean, most people don't even get to that stage of business until they're already actually doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm gonna start a business, I'm gonna do this. But now you talking about sitting down doing the numbers and what do I need to get this? Like that's that Y you know what I'm saying, X plus Y equals Z type deal where everybody trying to figure it out. Like we never thought we would need it again, but you do.
Yeah.
How many clients do I need to work? How many out? You know what I'm saying? At what cost to get
Yeah.
this amount of money right here?
That's gonna really let you know if it even makes sense.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, well, to get this amount of money, I got to kick out this amount of money,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to work this amount of hours.
Yep.
I might as well stay at the job.
Exactly.
If it don't
Yeah.
make sense, but if people don't do that, they going off of the dream.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, man, people, this person doing this, this person doing that, or they making it rich. That person might have 5 more different incomes. They just told you about this one thing they doing. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So you see what they putting out there. Go do
Mhm.
your math, put the numbers and see if that makes sense for you. Then you can eliminate a lot of this social media cap
Mhm.
just by doing numbers in your head. Like
All day.
like, how in the world? Okay, let me. Oh nah, they got something else going on. This ain't it.
Exactly. This is
So,
not the only thing.
right. It can't be,
Yeah.
and then and we all look at people now, especially in the social media, like we all look at people and be like, okay, what do they got going on? Okay, they making good money doing that. But you gotta still go back to the logistics of it. You might see somebody like, oh yeah, they're a millionaire, or they got at least about a $500,000 or something like that, or they generating over 6 figures a year. Okay, but are they doing it all off of one income?
Yeah.
That's the question. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the average millionaire got 6, 7 sources of income.
Exactly.
So people are quick to be like, "Oh man, he do this and nah." Like that's just what he's showing you. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
I think it all comes down like you just got to really pay attention.
Oh yeah, for sure. You
You gotta
pay
pay
attention,
attention.
do your research, do your numbers, and then being authentic as well. I mean, all that can sound good, look good, even if that's that one stream of income that's making them 6 figures.
Right.
If they're authentically doing it, it comes easy and natural to them. People are going to want to work with them. If you're doing it just to try to make a couple dollars, say I can do this, and a third, it's still not going to work out for you because you're not authentically doing it. You haven't done your research. You think it's just, oh, let me get in here real quick. But we all know you got to put in work. I mean, you don't just go to making all this money in your first couple of weeks, couple of months, whatever. And if you do, it's like it's like, doing drugs from what I hear. I've never done drugs. However, it's like doing drugs. You know what I'm saying? That first, and then you just keep chasing that same thing the whole time. You know what I'm saying? It's like that adrenaline, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you get from that first time, it's like, okay, now you still chasing the same thing, but you don't know how to do it, or you go down a rabbit hole and it get you down the wrong path. So, I mean, if you in this business game, this entrepreneurship game, you really got to be serious, authentic, and, you know what I'm saying? You really got to be doing your thing and what you want to do.
Early success ends a lot of people, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people go out there and, like you say, their first try. They're successful on their first try. And I feel like you in for it. If you doing something and you're successful on the first try, you're in for a rude awakening.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? Because it's not going. If you thinking this is gonna be love, oh yeah, this is love right here. Oh, I came up off of this. I'm just gonna keep doing this. Wait till that hard time. It's something gonna happen that let you know why everybody's not doing
it. Exactly.
Because if it was as simple as, if you starting off and it's that easy, and if it's that simple all the way around the board, you best believe everybody would be doing it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's got to be something going on that's keeping everybody from doing it. And you just lucked up on the first try. Now, like you say, you ready to be chasing it, trying to figure out, and then, or you might be good, and you might be good for a little while, especially like if you skipping steps and you cheating.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like when you skip them, you realize, like, dang, I might need to go back. Because then once you start hitting all of them downfalls and the walls, like, it's like, where am I missing? What am I missing? You know what I'm saying? Where did I go wrong at? And then you got to really go back to the beginning. You like, well, I skipped all this. And then you got to go and retrace and go all the way back through and kind of be like, all right, okay, now I understand it. Like, oh, that's why they said don't do that. Okay, so that's why I really like to go through everything. Like, I want to see every process. You know like that way I can decide about if it's worth me keep going or I need to go ahead and hang it up.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's but I expect what I mean. I expect things. I like the process and things going bad, and going wrong because but I know if I can get through the hard times or the bad things is going on, then I ain't really got to worry about too many other people. I say, okay, now I see why everybody's not.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Now am I going to be them or am I going to be the one to figure it out? And okay, then they going to look at me, dang, you make it look easy. But the whole time they didn't see everything I was doing.
You solved that problem, man. That's what I've been learning lately. You solving a problem in business, then you really going to, be successful with that as long as you're solving a problem, man. So I know, you said around like 2016, you got into the fitness thing kind of heavy. And from there, like, where'd you start, what I'm saying, training with your clients, and what did that look like? Because I know when I started coming to you, you had your own facility. So I know before that, like, how did you get, going from, all right, I'm going to do this fitness thing, gaining clients, where'd you start? And then how did you transition into your own gym?
So, like I say, 2016, it was like January 2016. I can actually remember it. So January 2016 is when I got the logo and all of that. 2017 is when I actually, at that time, I was a supervisor.
Okay.
And I ended up quitting the job, and I went full-time trainer. And once I went full-time trainer, I had to figure out, like, all right, how to make, like, when I first quit, like, I had a new charger, and I was like, man, I gotta figure this out and this and that. I gotta make sure I still can stay mobile, have a car, and all of that. So, paying my main bills and making sure I can handle my car notes so I can get around was like the main thing. So I made sure I had enough money coming in, and so I had enough clients. I had a handful of clients, and I had another gig that I was getting paid at from teaching fitness classes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and I was teaching fitness classes. That was in North Carolina.
Okay.
So I would go there like 3 days a week. And then I would train my clients, and I was making just enough money to make sure that my bills were paid. And so it was like, all right, and I was still hungry. I'm like, I got enough. I'm living the lifestyle. I'm working on my own. And my bills are paid. Now let's turn it up. I need to get to the next level.
Okay.
And then, so like I said, that was 2017. I ended up 2018 came around, and that's when I realized, like, I wanted to open my own spot.
Okay.
So I ended up going, and I actually let my car go.
Okay.
So I let my car go, and I went and bought 2005 PT Cruiser.
Okay,
For
not
my
the cruiser.
homeboy,
Not the
PT Cruiser.
cruiser.
I gave $800 for it.
Not the cruiser.
Look, so
Okay.
I jumped in it. So the thing is, I went and put a deposit down on the building for the gym.
Mhm.
You know, I started taking out a little loans and stuff on my equipment, this
Mhm.
and that. And I'm like, man, I got to get my overhead as low as possible so I can get this thing going. So I started letting stuff go that, you know, people probably looking at me like, he crazy, man. Like, he getting rid of all the stuff and they ain't riding around the PT Cruiser. This, man, it's all good because, you know, at that point, I ain't had no bike no more. I ain't
Mhm.
had my charger. I'm just in the PT Cruiser and I'm opening the gym.
Oh yeah.
But once I got it going, got everything up and running, it was like, okay, now I just got to see, you know, how to grow it even more, you know, because that was new to me. So that's why, like I said, I like to go through all the processes with everything.
Mhm.
And once I got that going, I picked it up. I made sure that before, while they were renovating and I was getting the building right,
Mhm.
I started automatically doing promo. I was
Nice.
running ads on Instagram, Facebook.
Mm.
Like I'm doing paid ads. Like I'm recording, just putting it out there. Like just making sure. But I knew that, you know, I gotta get out in front of as many people as possible.
Mhm.
Then that way, you know, the more people I get in front of, the more opportunities I would have to actually train someone. So
Say
I
that one
think
more time.
the more the more people I get in front of, the more opportunities
Mm.
I'm gonna have to
Mm.
actually train to make some money.
Mm.
So I had um the gym I'm training at now, the gym owner Ken, he told me right when I was ready to like quit my job, before I even got to that point, he was like, the thing about your clientele, he was like, for every 20 people you come in account with, um, run into, you're gonna get one loyal person that's gonna,
Mm.
you know, stay, or, you
20 to
know,
1.
and want to spend their money with you. So in my mind, me being a numbers guy, I'm like, I need to figure out how to get through these 20 people fast as possible.
Mm.
So I'm like, all right, let me go run these ads. Let me go run these ads now. It's like, okay, I'm hitting 1,000 people. Then I'm getting the inquiries. My
Mhm.
inquiries is coming
Mhm.
daily. I'm like, a lot of them in a day. Now I'm weaning through all my inquiries.
Yeah.
I might get one person like, all right, I'm coming in. But I realize I'm feeding through a lot of people a lot faster
Yeah.
now.
Oh yeah.
You know, versus me saying, oh, I'm just waiting for somebody to call me or this and that. So I put myself out in front of everybody
Mhm.
and let them know what's going on and this and that, and just kept them ads running. So that way, by the time my gym actually opened up,
Mhm.
I had enough money before I moved into that gym that I could pay the rent, do everything, because I was just, you know, saying proactive. I just did everything beforehand to make sure I got in that position. So that helped me a lot, you know. That helped me a lot. I ain't try to wait till I got in, and nah, I had to make sure that I was all, when I got step foot in that building and started training, I was all set and I had the clientele I needed.
Wow. Business planning 101, business structure 101, how to kill it in business 101. Like, yo, that's crazy. So, in 2017, you were about how old?
2017, I was 27.
27. Okay, so 2010, okay, he was 20. Okay, so from 2010 to 2020. Wow. 10 years.
10 years.
10 years. That was a lot to happen in 10 years, which with anybody's life, a lot can happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was a lot. However, you dropped a lot of bars. I'll just look, trying to do a little bit of numbers real quick in my head, right? You know what I'm saying? Trying to do those numbers real quick in my head.
Right.
However, I wanted to, like, I can kind of see the mindset that you had when you were when you started your business, said you was gonna take it serious. When you said you quit your job as a supervisor to go all out and all in your own business, from training in somebody else's gym to getting your own. I could see the mindset because that's like what I like to look at and focus on and help other people gain.
Mm-hmm.
However, can you help us with the mindset that you had from starting Weight Pusher Fitness, quitting your job, going all in on your business to getting your own gym? Like, what was the mindset you had during that time?
Success and
Mm.
freedom.
Okay.
Um, so when I did quit my job,
Mhm.
it was a situation, because, you know, with my oldest son, you know, he's special needs
Okay.
and he's in a wheelchair. He doesn't walk and he's not verbal, so he doesn't talk.
Mhm.
So it was a thing. Like I was working in that plant and stuff. Even though I was a supervisor, they didn't want us to have our phones on the floor, stuff
Mhm.
like that. So it was more one of them things like I might get that call. He might have go to the hospital. Or might
Yeah.
have to do something. So now they got like his mom would have to call the plant, then they would have to call and
Too
come
many
get me, this
channels.
and that. I'm
Yeah.
like, look, that's too much, man.
Mm-hmm.
I could be out the car on the way down the road by now, you
Exactly.
know. And I think is when I actually went to supervisor, the main straw was when I went to get the insurance or whatever, and I wanted to put him on as far as for life insurance and stuff. They denied him because he had a pre-existing
Mm-hmm.
condition or whatever. So I was like, man, this ain't it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, then on top of that, I need to be able to be there for him,
Mm-hmm.
you know, this and that. So like during the daytime, like I can go here, I can pick him up from school. Like I needed to be there. Like I wanted
Yeah.
to be able to be there, and I didn't want like a job trying to tell me like,
When you
you know,
could and
saying
when you
when I
couldn't.
can and when I can't be there for my kid,
Ooh.
you know. So that was a whole nother like. So I was already hungry, looking for a reason, you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
So that was big enough reason right there.
Uh
So
huh.
now, like, so I say the plan and everything. Like, I ain't gonna just jump out there. Like, man, you can ask my wife. I drive her crazy. Like, I might pace back and forth through the house, and she'll be like, "Man, what? Sit down. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?"
Yeah.
She be like, "What are you thinking about?" I'm like, "Man, I'm just doing numbers." She be like, "Nah, something on your mind." I'm like, "Literally, I'm adding up stuff in my
Yeah.
head. Like, that's all I'm doing." But and it would drive her nuts. But I'm that guy, so like I want to make sure that my next move is gonna make sense when I do it. So if anybody see me make a move, just know I didn't probably you looking at it right now. I see it 5, 10 years down the
Oh
road,
yeah.
like you know. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but it's and everything you know, everything happening still, and I still ain't got it all figured out because you definitely gonna have some hiccups and some stuff to come to play between there. But for the most part, that was the big mindset of me making it from then to now because I already knew I was like working is not gonna be it, and being able, I'm like, and if anything happened, I got to be able to come out the pocket, you know, to for expenses or anything. So it's like I got to really get on my grind. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm already seeing now like the government and the insurance, all that ain't none of that set up for me. So I got to go a different route. So that was really like the battery in my back to really okay, let's stick with it. But like you say, like I got out, I was making money and I was doing stuff. I want to make sure that I am moving forward. So that's really like my mindset of how I got through all of that and to continue to progress. You know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's powerful, man. That's powerful from all of those different decisions, the planning, the running the business, being consistent with the business, being successful with the business. Like those are, man. I'm sitting up here like, man, like what? Huh? I already see when you kept talking about numbers. The third time you said numbers and what you good at walking around the house doing numbers. I'm like, okay, I already know exactly. When I hit DJ up because I mean your circle is really important, or like the people that you have to be able to call on for different things. And I feel like the numbers part is who I don't have in my arsenal yet to be like, okay, well, can you help me figure out how or what, what I'm saying? Like I said, the X plus Y equals Z situation where if I'm trying to, this is the goal, I might know the Z, but the X and the Y part is kind of like, what I'm saying? All right, well, what do I need to, like, what two things do I need to be looking at to get here? Like, I know where I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
I know my goal. Like you said, my vision far out, what I'm saying? But to get there, I might be trying to figure out a couple of numbers, and that's key. But making a decision to quit your job for family, being a strong father, the active, the one to be there, like that's powerful in itself. And then being full out dependent on yourself, which I mean that means you had to have crazy confidence to, like, the mindset was there. You said freedom and of course a different financial situation. You wouldn't have your own control of your finances, but confidence, man, to be able to walk away from a job and go straight in all in your own business and to still be doing it to this day is phenomenal. Like that's phenomenal, man. Confidence through the roof.
Yeah.
You have to have that confidence, man. You have to.
The plan builds the confidence though.
True.
You got to have a plan. Like if you don't have a plan, like you already, you know what I'm saying? You already just waiting for a failure for real. Like like what they say. Nobody plans to fail. We just fail to plan.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I agree.
It's just more so like I know when I get into something or I'm ready to do something, I need to make sure it's gonna line up, and I need to know how to get from A to B and B to C all the way to Z.
Oh yeah.
So it's like even though I know it's not gonna be that smooth just going from A to B. There's gonna be some stuff in between, but. Like I know once I deal with that, then I'm at the next spot. I'm at the next spot, And then a lot of times you're gonna get stuck along the way anyway, and a lot of that stuff, the reason that you're getting stuck might not have nothing to do with you, or it might not have anything to do with like your plan.
Yeah,
it's just timing.
Yeah.
Timing is everything. Like a lot of people, like you're not ready. I'm not a millionaire yet because I'm not ready to be a millionaire.
That's true.
If I had that million right there, they be like, he's slacking. And when
Uh-huh.
it fell off, he ain't doing none of the stuff. I ain't seen him in about 2-3 months. I'm out here buying all types of stuff. So
Clients gonna be like,
yeah.
"Hey, what I need to do? We on the virtual plans, right?"
Man, I need a new trainer, man. DJ got that million. But that's why you see people running the money and they back broke. Like they go act a fool. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I know, like, I got to get a couple things, like, making money and stuff like that. Like, man, anybody can know I go out and make some money or know how to make the money, but are you disciplined enough? That's what it comes down to, consistent,
Yes.
Just remember, you got to just have that why. You got to know, make sure you know right why you doing it, and just remember that, But like I said, that's why it's not going to be those moments where everybody are, because you're going to have, like I said, it might not be your fault or anything, but you're gonna have those moments where things are. You might just have to close the door. It might be people around you or something that you can't take with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got to close them doors. You got to get away from them. You find yourself I was just having this conversation with one of my homeboys, and I was telling him, like, you start getting around, like, it might be the people you hanging with all the time.
Yes.
And then, you having these combos, but you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. So all day long, you're sitting here in your mind, you're focused on this because you want to do this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or I want to open a car wash. You're focused on this car wash all day long, but soon as your homeboys come around and they talking about this, talking about that, but now your dominant thoughts are no longer that car wash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's now talking about the playoffs, talking about football draft, talking about somebody else's business.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this person that went and bought this many houses, or this person got the real estate over here. Or, like, now it's like, all right, I was focused on getting my car washed, but now I'm around y'all and we talk about everything else. Now I feel like I'm influenced because I'm around people doing good stuff, but at the same time, this ain't got nothing to do with what I got going on. So I'm not locked in, even though I feel like I'm locked in. It might be good energy. I'm not, because I'm discouraged right now. Like, you got me. My focus is not even where it needs to be. And then you also, and that was speaking on like a positive side, being around like positive people. Not to mention the negative people, the people who ain't got nothing going on.
Yes.
Now they don't even really. They really want you to stay where you at. You know what I'm saying? They don't even want you to get no better.
Exactly.
They want to keep you around them. Like, oh yeah, he any more success, I might not see him no more. You know what I'm saying? So like, they really trying to keep you in. Crab in the bucket effect. So.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's a good point right there. The circle of people that you're around and the circle of people you're around the most are really important. I learned reading and just searching online that the 5 people you spend the most time with will determine like your future, and you can see your success, you can see your failure, you can see whatever. It's a mirror, right? Because whoever you spend the most time with, you're going to be that 6th person of whatever that average is that you're around. If you're around 5 millionaires, you'll be the 6th. If you're around 5 slackers, you'll be the 6th. Right. If you're around 5 average, then you'll be the 6th. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoever you're around is going to influence what your outcome is of life. And like you said, those conversations. Right. If I'm around 5 millionaires and I'm trying to be successful, start my business, or be successful financially, then they're going to, like, the conversations are going to be about that, and eventually I'm going to get there. Right. If I'm around the negativity, and you know what I'm saying, it's going to be that same concept. So it's really important to surround yourself around, the 5 people that you spend the most time with, not like every y'all, we're not telling anybody not to spend no time with your family, your cousin Bobo that ain't doing nothing. That time. Yeah, like, you got to know, like, where am I giving the bulk of my time?
That time that you spending with all of them, and just know that's delayed, progress, Yes. So, ain't nothing wrong with it. Just be aware. I just tell people, be aware. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just be aware.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know, man, like you already said why you quit your job, because I definitely run it back, but I mean, you already touched on it. It was really good to hear that you made the decision to quit your job and go full on entrepreneurship, man. Whew. Wow. Wow, that's powerful, and that's major. Before I move on, though, I know, like you had your own gym, and you were in your own gym, and you recently transitioned out of your own gym. So, do you see that as a setback, or how do you see that transition from making a decision to leave your gym to go back and just work under another gym? Well, not under, but out of.
Definitely, I don't see it as a setback. Okay. I feel like, well, when I made that decision, that was another decision like for my family because at the time, I had just got married,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and I ended up having a baby on the way.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just more so in the like I say, everything is a learning experience. So, and that was something that I did, and I jumped out there. I had people a good support system and everything, but
Mm-hmm.
it's some things I had to realize, and I just want people to know, like, never, feel bad for starting over or pressing reset. You know what I'm saying? Because you can actually, I could have actually been in a position if I could have I could have stayed at that building, struggled it out,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody be like, "Oh yeah, he got this," and I would have just been struggling the whole time.
Yeah.
Nobody even knew it.
Yeah.
Or I can be like, you know what, I did this wrong. I ain't gonna try to patch it together and try to, I'ma just hit reset, get everything right, and if I ever decide to go that route again, I know how to do it.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And that's like the difference between, like, that's why I tell people, like, man, what if they want to know how you do it, this and that. Like, I could tell you what I would do different and this and that, but even me telling you what I would do different, you still got to go in there and do it because you might have another downfall.
Exactly.
You might have something else that hinders you. You
Mm-hmm.
know, but in general, like, I definitely don't see it because what I had to realize is what a lot of people didn't realize. They would see it like, okay, you don't have the gym anymore, so you might have fell off, or you don't have, or you don't, it's like you're not really training no more, or anything
Yeah.
like that. That was not even the case. Me, I seen it on another side because my downfall was I had a training studio.
Okay.
So with
Okay.
me having a training studio, I was just pretty much training clients. Like all
Yeah.
my clients now, I got somewhere for y'all to come and train with me. I
Yeah.
don't have gym memberships, so
Mm-hmm.
the building itself wasn't making any money.
I got you.
So
I got you.
say
So the model you
so
had was the reason.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
so that's why I said, like, now I know if I had to do it again,
Mm-hmm.
because it was basically I'm training my clients, they're paying me, and I'm taking my money and paying for this building
Mm.
and a mortgage
Mm-hmm.
and a family.
And exactly. Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
so everything, two Wi-Fi bills, like
Yeah. Yeah.
everything, you
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah.
Everything's with a two utilities, got a heat and cool gym. Like, man,
Man.
come on now. But
Okay.
so what I realized is, okay, I can go back, hit this reset. Oh, I can, like I
Yes.
said, I can fight and just stay here, fight and just keep raising my clientele, keep raising my clientele. Or I can hit this reset right quick, go back to my roots, and guess what? I am the business.
Yes. For
So
sure.
this building was not the business. That's what I had to realize. I'm the business.
Yes.
So if everybody who's coming here, they're here because I'm here.
Yep.
So once I shut the building down, I can go back and everybody's gonna come with me.
Exactly.
And now I just eliminated all of my overhead.
All it. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now I can pay a trainer fee. So
Wow.
that was, and now I got extra funds to go vacations, families, or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody else, they might not have seen it that way, and some people might be so passionate, like they wanted to hold on to that building or whatever. I could have felt like that, like, that's all I got. But nah, like, I had a bigger picture at hand, and other things that I want to do. Like, I couldn't. The whole time I had the gym, I didn't compete
Okay.
because
Okay.
I was, like, even working out, I was missing workouts, like stuff
Mm.
like that, because now I'm more so trying to tend to a building and a higher overhead and figure this out from a business side. So now I'm not enjoying,
Oh
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying,
Enjoying
what
everything.
I'm all the things I liked about fitness and stuff like that. Now it's a business, so now I don't like it like that no more. So I
Wow.
wanted to get back to that point. I like traveling to other
Mm.
gyms. I like competing and meeting new people and stuff like that. I mean, I'm in my own gym. Like, people pretty much got to see me through social media.
Yes.
So I ain't running
Yes.
into nobody unless they know they coming here, or I done spoke to you and I done invited you
Wow.
over here. So
Wow.
that's why, like, if I was to do it again, I definitely would have a couple other things to make sure that the building is paying for itself, whether it's bringing in trainers, membership
Mm-hmm.
fees, anything
Mm-hmm.
like that. Like, but for the most part, that was what I actually learned.
Oh
You
wow.
know, that was a big lesson. You know
That
what I'm saying?
it was. I mean, but it was calculated. Like, you made calculated decisions, and two, the lessons were calculated as well to see your business model that you had. You were talking about business model. You had a training model in a training studio. So you are a trainer, and the model you took with you into your own space was, a training business model where, like you said, it's just the same thing, different area. Where if you look at the different concepts of, the fitness industry, you can have a fitness gym, a facility where people come to work out on their own, and then you also have trainers, and you also train if that's what you wanted to do. Or it's a model where I could go ahead and open up a gym and as a business and just have the stuff there, and then it'll be open space for people to work on their own, and or trainers like yourself come in and work. There's different ways to do that. So you were able to learn that early on before it really became a setback. Now I see why you said you didn't see it as a setback, but more of a learning lesson in business. But it didn't have to cost you a whole lot. Like, a lot of people, like you say, the greater the risk, greater the reward. However, when you're calculated, when you're smart, when you're planning, when you're thinking, business is also thinking. When you're doing those things, you don't have to have all them setbacks and risk and lose all this money along the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like before, you say you could have struggled it through, and you know what I'm saying, either struggle with business or family,
lost some more money on.
Yeah, it could have been either way. Something was gonna hurt from that, but you didn't even get it to that point where you were able to see it coming, and you know what I'm saying, just go ahead and pivot. And pivoting is really important in business. It's a good trait to have, to be able to pivot.
You gotta be able to see the court. You know what I'm saying?
That pivot is important right there.
You gotta have that peripheral, see what's coming.
You gotta see it,
know
man.
when to cross over.
Oh man, coach called a zone play, but they in man, yo. We gotta run. Hey, we gonna run. Hey, run that.
Switch it up right quick.
Yeah, for sure, man.
It's
that
definitely,
pivot is important.
That's what I always say, man. I always say you can't fail until you quit. So I ain't quit. I'm still rolling strong. I'm really feel like I'm better than ever.
The confidence through the roof.
I got more room to do other things that I want to do now too. So that's why, that's why I tell them, like, man, it's gonna be difficult to start over, but I'd rather do that than go backwards any day. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Get that reset, start fresh. You know what I mean? Because when you keep learning stuff, as you're learning, you get here. And you be like, dang, man, like, all right, let me start over.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then when you get right there, you're like, oh, I remember here, now I'm at the next stop. It's just like a video game.
Playing Mario Brothers, ain't it?
Mario Brothers, Street Fighter, you get to that same spot, man, I keep losing. Yes. Start over. You get through when you get to level 10 and mess up every time. So, but it's like, now you done got to the point, you go from level 1 all the way to 10 so fast, you ain't even thinking about it. You like, oh, I'll be right back. Now I'm at 10 again. Boom, I beat it. Now I'm on 11. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Now you fail at 11, you got to start back over. But now you getting through 10 because you know what to do at 10 now because you got through that point. Versus being like, oh, man, I just want to keep starting here. Like, I ain't going back, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you lose a lot, just going backwards. You just keep getting knocked back further. Nah, go ahead, hit that reset. Gather yourself, get your foundation together and go.
Yes. That's an interesting concept when you compare to the video games. They hit home for me, and I was like, yo, I can remember sitting there all them times playing video games back in the day. And like you said, but you don't understand that the translation of failing in the video game or losing. So in the game you're losing, and you keep having to play the same board over and over and over till you reach, until you learn that lesson and you move on to the next point. Same thing in life and business. Like life is the same thing. You'll keep coming to some same financial mistakes, some same, setbacks, the same, whatever is going to keep happening until you learn that lesson and you do something different. You can't learn a lesson and keep doing the same thing and think it's going to change. Learn a lesson, do something different, and then you get a different outcome. But in business, that's a great concept. Like I always heard fail fast. But I didn't understand it. As an athlete,
get that out the way.
As an athlete, as a very confident person, fail fast. Like failing for one. What do you mean fail? Like just because you in business don't mean you gotta fail. But now I understand. You know what I'm saying? 10 years of going hard entrepreneurship wise, not solely. I'm not to say I've been a sole entrepreneur for 10 years, but I've been aspiring really hard for the last 10 years to gain my footing in the entrepreneurship industry and do my own thing and find my lane. And I've learned that now, right now is the last 6 months. Okay. I understand the concept of failing fast, because the faster you are and the sooner you make those mistakes, the further you get along. 10 years, if I would have just failed fast the first 3 years, by now I would be, like you said, at a different level. I'm probably on level 3 right now. I could have been on level 12 if I would have failed fast and learned those lessons. But now I'm learning them lessons now, which at the end of the day, like you said, still made a great point. Timing is everything. Your time is your time. It might not have been my time to get to that point back then like I thought I was, even if I would have failed fast. So it's happening the way it's supposed to happen for me, and I understand that as a human and as an entrepreneur. But like I said, that correlation of video games and failing and business is powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like the video games today are different. I'm not sure kind of where they are right now in the 2000s of 2020s, but like when we play video games in the 1990s and 2000s, like Mario, Sonic, Street Fighter, Tekken, you know what I'm saying? All those games, Halo, like I mean, just playing them different video games is like the levels. Like you had to complete a level to move to the next level, and they were hard. They got harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. You know what I'm saying? And I remember in Mario, every time you got to the last, I don't know how many levels it was before you got to the what was it, like the little monster guy or whatever, like whoever that was. It was some kind of monster at the end of that certain level before you move to a different board. Like to beat a board, you go through a certain amount of levels. You had to beat them. And I was like you said, we fly through 1 through 5 levels, and then you get to the 6th to go to the next board, and y'all keep getting stuck right here.
And I do the same thing every time, and then finally you do something different. You like, oh, that's all I had to do. Or somebody come over there, like, hey man, give me past here. All you got to do is just right. Now you got it, you know. Yeah. But you know, that's just all the process, you know.
Definitely.
But that's why I like to compare stuff like that, like to life. You know what I mean? Like I try to be real, because we're living in a time now where everybody's you know, with social media, everything is fake right now. You know what I mean? And then people are portraying. You know what I'm saying? People they portraying to be this and be that. You know, and a lot of people now that everything's virtual and you know AI and all of this, man, you could be whoever you want to be without being who you want to be. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like a lot of people, like you know what I'm saying. Like, I feel like you know I'll probably get some backlash off this, but like grown men playing video games all day. Like, I don't really like that. You know what I'm saying? But and the reason, but I can justify it because a lot of them they're being on that video game who they don't want to be. I mean, who they want to be in real life.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Oof.
You think about it like you think about Grand Theft Auto, right? They got the new one coming out. My daughter upset. They done pushed it back again to 2026. But she but when you think about it, like you go on Grand Theft Auto, you broke, you ain't got no clothes on. You go out there, you running your money up. You know, you run your money up, then you go buy this big house. You go buy this car. You back in there, you keep putting it in the shop, doing more stuff to it. Then you getting your clothes right and all that. And then now you're in this video game. All the clothes you put on this character, the house this character has, and the car this character has is what you want in real life. But instead of you going after it in real life, you're just playing a video game. Like, yo, yeah, I got it. But yet, once you cut that game off, you know what I'm saying? That's really all you got. So you just keep coming back to that, and now you're living through a video game, and you don't even understand. You don't even realize it. You know. So it's like it's the world is getting to a point now where if you can't distinguish real life and social media and virtual, then yeah, it's gonna be bad. You know, it's gonna be real bad.
I couldn't agree more, man. I look, like I said, whatever. This is real and raw conversations. I mean, opinions. Everybody can have an opinion, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And how you take that, you know, normally when you get backlash is because as somebody's brother, cousin, husband, you know what I'm saying, significant other that is in that situation that was negatively spoke upon. However, the truth, that nobody want to realize the truth in what was said. So, I mean, that was a powerful statement that, you know what I'm saying, grown men playing video games. I mean, if you're in the house playing video games, I mean, what kind of example are you setting for the next generation of people that are around you? Like your son, brother, cousin, whoever's around you. They're seeing you sit in the house, and kids are sponges. Like whatever they're seeing the people around them doing, they're going to do. Same concept as what we talked about earlier. The 5 people you spend the most time with is what you're going to be like. So when kids, the 5 people they're around the most, that's what they're going to normally go out and try to do. So if they're seeing somebody sit in the house all day, they're thinking, oh, okay, well, when I get, you know, once I'm graduated high school, I can sit in the house all day and play video games. Yes, you can, but you're not going to get anything from it. That's the only part. That's the other part you don't see, because as a child, you don't know to ask the questions of, well, how you making money, or how the bills getting paid, or what are you doing? How are we able to eat? Like, what are you doing to make this money? Now, if you're making money from playing video games while you sit in the house as a grown man,